Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, depending on your location or your GMT. I don't run again. This one, now Amanda Neze from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. Now they talk to you now this Tuesday morning. Make una still remember, say I am that your media man with a difference, and that your broadcaster will get better swag. I don't carry Ubonga news. Come hit you on this very morning. The so-called Supreme Court, they don't pick a date to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. Because any court that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will attend now, if not, my dear, pack your bag and baggages and go home. It is not acceptable to the Biafran community, to the international world, and to the United Nations Working Committee on Arbitrary Detention. So they don't set a date to say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, enough is enough. Please, you can pack your bag and baggages and go. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as he stands and known by law, have no any single charges or whatsoever hanging on his neck. So he is being illegally incarcerated and detained after violating all manner of laws, both locally and internationally, to extradite the young man from Kenya to Nigeria like a common criminal. According to Igbo language or Igbo adage, he says, and I quote, Onye ji ihe nwata weli aka enu, aka fụọ ya ụfọ wetuo ya. In English interpreting, he who holds a thing of a child or a thing that belongs to the child, you raise your hand up. At a point, your hands will begin to pain you, and you bring down your hand, and the child will take its own. According to another Igbo adage, which says, Ojigiri oji nabenana. If you go hold mbe, or no mbe, nabe, this tortoise, you go hold him for ground, you go inside his shell. So holding him nabe, the tortoise on the ground, you are automatically holding yourself, because nabe, even if you hold him there for 1 million years, he have already stocked all the whole food that he will eat for days, that will last him for days inside his stomach. So what are we saying here? The federal government have hold here in water for all this while, for over 2 years, and even when the court of appeal said, discharge him and let him go, he is innocent. They say, Abi, they want to crucify him. How to make Nnamdi Kanu no be? Make gonna help me answer this question at the comment section. Whether they want to crucify Nnamdi Kanu like the way Judas Iscariot. Speaking of Judas Iscariot, I don't know who crucified, but there's a crucifixion in those days. According to what they tell us for Bible. So, my good people, make gonna hear the headline before we can be able to come back and tell on what I myself feel about this whole shenanigans and brouhaha. Hear it the way it is. Breaking news: Supreme Court of the Fulani Control Government of Nigeria pick a date to hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal against the Fulani Control Government of Nigeria soon. This one is coming from the special counsel where your name be Aloysius Ejimako. Ifeanyi Ejiofor. I lament this one soon. Other one where we have you in another development. We have this our brother that Nigeria happens to, and I remember him now. He said Biafra died 52 years ago. You think the Fulani people will embrace him and they say him, oh, you denied Biafra, we are going to give you presidency. Man, you think they trust, even if you like, convert to Islam, you will be P2B. My brother, nothing for you. So, you don't come out to come tell us waiting will happen to Nigeria after the experience where you have in Bangladesh. Maybe this man said Mamana from Bangladesh, because every time he keep on talking Bangladesh. And he's just coming back from this, I think a week ago. He went to a business summit meeting. Anyway, that one, na story where we'll go trade when we come back. Tony Elumelu, all these people, waiting say Nigeria belongs to them, where they turn Nigeria upside down. Lamido Sanusi and Yemi Alade, including DJ Copy. I beg you, waiting DJ they go do for United Nations General Assembly meeting for UK. I just made them go take pictures, come back. Anyway, that one, na them Sabio. They don't storm 78 hunger photos out there. This one is Yemi Alade, this one is Tony Elumelu, and this one is Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Make una see wetin dey happen o. You know say when we there for social media or this media house of a thing. we will come dey cry say look at wetin dey happen. People go come dey talk say we be ethnic bigot, we anything wey we no be Biafra, we no dey support am or whatever. Look at what is happening in Katsina State. In Katsina, I'm talking to you now. I will attach the photo. The thing don't have video. I will have attached video, but I will attach the photo in this video. If you are watching, if you are scrolling, you will see where all the whole bandits, terrorists, When I mean terrorists, I mean the hardened terrorists. Everybody with AK-47, assault rifle, they come and they gather for peace parley. They come to discuss about peace. In the general open, this one is not in a hiding. But government will come out and tell us that they have put mount a bounty on the head of this person, on the head of that person, how they will catch them and arrest them. Look at them in open place. They come for bounty. So government cannot surround all of them now and got them all of them arrested. They will not do. But Biafrans will come out now with just only flag, unarmed. They will begin to kill all of them. And you tell me that, one Nigeria, Oguloma Payamadoha. Now you go buy all of them. Anybody where they tell me one Nigeria kill all of you. Look at it. Photos. Terrorist Tom Castena community. This one na hometown of the so-called past president of this country, this nonsense country called Nigeria, Buhari. Now instead with this, the storm community, the community for peace parley. The DSS, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, the military, the NCDC, NSCDC. Where are they? They were nowhere to be found. But later, one single Biafra man now raised common flag and said they want to protest. Peaceful protest, unarmed. They will send their military men, their police, and the so-called DSS to shoot everybody. Understand? I don't worry, I will attach the photo at the end of this video or beginning of it, so that people will see that this Nigeria, as it's being called, can never be the same. All of them with the brand new AK-47 and AK-4010, where Nigerian government said no get. Now waiting all of them carry, come for the meeting. And you tell me tomorrow, hey, they want peace. They want one Nigeria. Where that some section of the country have been killing. Have they ever called for dialogue? Will Martin Nnamdi Kanu be agitating? Have they ever stopped the marginalization? Will Martin Nnamdi Kanu be agitating? That is the issue we are having in Nigeria. Some parts of the country have been marginalized to the extent that even common what they call it, common Senate president, they cannot produce. They say they don't trust them. Then allow them to go. You said no. Anyway, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, I beg you, now here we will start our news. If we begin to talk, the anger where in my mind, I will talk from now till tomorrow. Despite the fact that is not what my people need. They need to hear the real thing. So I'm going straight to the reason why we're here this morning. I beg, help me share, like, comment. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more updates and more videos as we proceed. Counsel to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Ejiofor, has revealed that the Supreme Court will soon pick a date to hear his client, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal against the Fulani government of Nigeria concerning his continued detention at the Department of State Service, DSS. Ejiofor, in a statement on Monday, yesterday, said the Supreme Court, which formally resumes the new legal year on Monday, which is yesterday, will then, in a matter of days, pick a date for the hearing because the court will formally commence hearing of appeals next week. Recall that Kanu had on November 3, 2022, filed an appeal at the Supreme Court against the Court of Appeals October 28, 2022 verdict, which stayed the execution of his leader, of his earlier order discharging and acquitting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of all frivolous charges and directing his release from the custody of the secret police. However, Okute News reports that the Apex Court has adjourned the hearing to September 14, which fell within the Supreme Court's annual vacation period. Ifeanyi Ejiofor, in a statement, recounted how Kanu's lead counsel, Mike Ozekome, or you can call him Chief Mike Ozekome, SAN, had formally requested the court's approval of September 28, 2023 as the new scheduled date for the hearing of the appeal following the cancellation of the earlier scheduled date. He explained that there is a positive indication that in the coming days, a confirmation or otherwise of the proposed new date will be made public upon our late counsel's feedback. Our request is simple. Let this appeal be heard with every urgency it deserves so that the fate of Onyendoma Nnamdi Kanu, who has been illegally held in the solitary confinement of the SSS, will be determined, having been discharged of all frivolous charges or all frivolous criminal charges against him since the 13th day of October 2022. The federal government of Nigeria has continued to detain him in custody in clear violation of this subsisting judgment and orders of the Court of Appeal that directed for his unconditional release and consequently prohibited his further trial before any court in Nigeria or detention in any custody. As I have consistently maintained, the will of justice may grind slowly, but it will grind exceedingly fine in no distant time. And I hear them, now here, now be the starting of our news, where we anchored our news. According to this one that Nigerians happen to, P2B, he don't speak waiting to happen to Nigeria after his Bangladesh experience. The 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Gringori Obi, has shared what he believes can happen in Nigeria based on what he saw recently in the country called Bangladesh. The Labour Party flag bearer revealed that he was in Bangladesh last week to participate in the investment forum organized by the Bangladesh government and Commonwealth Enterprise and the Investment Council, and noticed a positive transformation in the economy of the said country. According to Obi, in 2009, Bangladesh was battling with poverty and poor infrastructure with a GDP of $102 billion, a GDP per capita which is $688, and an unemployment rate of around 10.2%. He explained that 14 years after, Bangladesh now has a GDP of $460 billion with a GDP per capita of 2,700 and an unemployment rate that is below 5%. The Labour Party presidential candidate attributed the positive growth to the right leadership and added that with the same kind of right leadership, Nigeria can also make huge developmental leaps. In his words, I traveled to Bangladesh last week to participate in the investment forum organized by the Bangladesh government and Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council. As a guest speaker at one of the events, I spoke on SME formalization and internationalization in the Commonwealth, empowering growth and global reach. I visited Bangladesh in May 2009, about 6 months after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina assumed office. At that time, the country's Human Development Index was within the low category. Her GDP was just below what is supposed to be, $102 billion with a GDP per capita of 688. Unemployment rate was around 10 to 12%. You could see and feel the poverty and the poor infrastructures. When I returned last week, about 14 years after, her Human Development Index was now on the high side of the medium category and will soon be in the high category. Their GDP now is $460 billion with a GDP per capita of $2,700. The unemployment rate is now below 5%. That means this country are developing. Then count Nigeria along the line since 1999. Instead of things to get better, things keep going worse and worse. Poverty has been greatly reduced and infrastructure greatly improved from what it was in 2009. They have a steady growth average of over 6% within the said period. Though still grappling with some challenges, the leadership is determined and focused on a productive and progressive Bangladesh with clear and measurable goals for growth. After the visit and interacting with leaders, I remain convinced that with the right leadership, a new Nigeria that will be productive and progressive, devoid of tribalism, religious sentiment, and criminality, but we benefit all is possible. Signed by Peter Gringoli Obi of Labour Party. Okay, the last but not the least, let us take this last message. Tony Elumelu and the rest of them, including Yemi Alade, even DJ Copy, where they copy everything, where they marry here and there, but not marry here and there, where they have boyfriend here and there. I don't know whether this one Nakwato. Several Nigerians from different industries in the country have stormed this year's season session of the United Nations National Assembly in New York. Okute News report that apart from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, others who have arrived at the 78th edition of the Hunger include former Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, Group Chairman, Hayes Holdings, Tony Elumelu, wife of the former Senate President, Dr. Toyin Saraki. What are they going there to do? I don't know. According to the Nation, Nigerian music artist Yemi Alade, disco jockey, which is DJ, Florence Otedola, also known as DJ Copy, popular poet and writer Mrs. Karimoto Odebode, special representative of the United Nations, Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All, SE, Southeast for All, Damilola Ogunbiyi were also cited at that event. While Sanusi was reported to have attended a film screening, the agreement, the making of the SDGs, and a panel of discussion with UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed. Elumelu met with the Liberian President, George Weah. Dr. Toyin Saraki participated in SDG Action Weekend, and Yemi Alade also performed at the opening of the SDG Action Weekend as Godwill ambassador for the UNDP. Recall that the United Nations General Assembly, which is Hunger 78, number 78, opened on Tuesday, 5 September, with a high-level debate beginning on Tuesday, 19th of September, which is today. The theme of the United Nations General Assembly is rebuilding trust and reigniting global solidarity, accelerating action on the 2030 agenda and its sustainable development goals towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. The 78th season also marks the halfway point to the deadline set for the achieving the 2030 agenda and the sustainable development goals, which is SDGs. At the SD Sustainable Development Group Summit on 18 and 19 September, leaders will review the implementation of the 2030 agenda and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals as it ought to be. If you look very well, you are going to see the what they call it, the people of the day, how they are being entertained and how they are carrying on the activities of the day. So my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, and the so-called Nigerian people and the world at large, even from America, from UK, from European country, I beg you, make on use this one to step down as it ought to be. Help me subscribe to my channel, like, share, and also comment. All the very, very important and very, very necessary. And until I come your way again, I still remain Okute Daily Talk. I can say bye for now. Kemesiano.